You ever been driving and all of a sudden you hit a fog bank? What's the first thing you do? You slow down. Why? Because if you are disoriented, if you get lost, you don't know where the road is, you can end up in the ditch. Well, we caregivers have our own fog, and we've got to slow down. What does that fog stand for? Fear, obligation, and guilt. Fog. And it's going to lead to heartache, anger, and turmoil. Fog hat, because I like 70s music. Okay. Fog, fear. Man, we live with so much fear. You know those late night conversations you have with the ceiling? We live with so much fear as caregivers. What are we going to do? How are we going to get through this? But what does God say about fear? He said, fear not, for I'm with you. All through Scripture, don't be afraid, don't be afraid, don't be afraid. Obligation. Obligation is a petri dish for resentment. I mean, it takes that long for you to start resenting the very person you're caring for. And by the way, you can't push a wheelchair with clenched fists. Try it sometime. It just doesn't work. So when you resent somebody, you're only hurting yourself and them. And guilt, man, there is no problem so bad that guilt can't make it worse. So how do you deal with this? Well, how do airline pilots deal with it? How do ship captains deal with it? They use a GPS. Grace, purpose, stewardship. Let's speak some grace to ourselves in this situation. God's grace is abundant. Purpose. Let's see God working through this thing. When you're in the belly of the beast, be the archaeologist and start seeing purpose of this thing. And stewardship, I don't own this. I didn't do it. I didn't cause it. I can't change it. God owns this. If we learn to start putting our scared hand into His scarred hands, we will find that we can navigate through these things a lot safer, a lot calmer, and dare I say it, a lot more joyful. Healthy caregivers make better caregivers.